The crisp autumn air hung with the promise of change as Julia navigated the bustling city streets, her heart aflutter with the memories of the chance encounter that altered her life's trajectory. A friend's party, an unassuming conversation, and there he was, Justin. His smile was magnetic, and the connection undeniable. In the days that followed, their romance unfolded like a cherished novel. Late-night conversations, stolen glances, and shared laughter laid the foundation for a love that seemed destined. Justin, with his charismatic charm and ambitious dreams, swept Julia off her feet. One evening, as they strolled through the city park, Justin turned to Julia with a sparkle in his eyes. "You know, Julia, there's something special about us. I feel it. Do you?" he asked, his gaze locking onto hers. Julia, caught in the enchantment of the moment, couldn't help but smile. "Yes, Justin. There's an undeniable connection, something I've never felt before. It's like we're meant to be." Their whirlwind romance led to a magical proposal under the twinkling city lights, and before Julia could fully comprehend the speed at which her life was changing, wedding bells echoed in the distance. As they exchanged vows on a sunny afternoon surrounded by loved ones, Julia felt a profound sense of joy and anticipation for the journey ahead. Justin whispered promises of a future filled with love, adventure, and unwavering support. In a quiet moment, as they danced under a canopy of fairy lights, Justin cupped Julia's face in his hands. "You are my everything, Julia. I can't wait to build a life together, to support each other through thick and thin." Julia, lost in the warmth of his gaze, replied, "I feel the same, Justin. Our love is the beginning of something beautiful." Little did Julia know that these words would be the prelude to a tale of challenges and resilience, a journey that would test the strength of their love and redefine the meaning of beginnings. The initial days of Julia and Justin's married life were painted with the hues of happiness, but soon subtle shifts in Justin's demeanor began to surface. A once easygoing partner became a man with expectations and demands. One evening, as Julia returned home after a long day at the office, she found Justin pacing the living room, his expression tense. "Julia," he began, avoiding eye contact, "we need to talk." Concern etched on her face, Julia asked, "What's going on, Justin? Is everything okay?" Justin sighed, finally meeting her gaze. "I've been thinking, and I believe it would be best if you quit your job. I can take care of us, and you being at home would make things easier." Confusion knitted Julia's brows. "But Justin, I love my job. Why would I quit?" He waved away her concerns. "Think about it, Julia. A wife's place is at home, ensuring a comfortable environment for her husband. I've got big plans, and I need you to focus on the household." As days passed, the demands intensified. Justin's expectations of a perfect home and an impeccably served dinner became Julia's daily struggle. In a tense conversation one night, he declared, "I married you to be my partner, not to compete with me in the professional world. Quit your job, Julia. It's for our future." Heart-heavy, Julia countered, "But Justin, I have dreams too. I can contribute to our future while pursuing my career. It doesn't have to be one or the other." His voice grew stern. "This is not negotiable, Julia. A good wife prioritizes her family over her career. It's time you understand that." As the rift between them widened, Julia grappled with conflicting emotions. The love she felt for Justin and the suffocating demands that threatened to extinguish her own aspirations. Little did she know that these demands were just the beginning of a turbulent journey that would test the limits of her commitment and resilience. The strains in Julia and Justin's marriage reached a crescendo when a critical moment unfolded. Julia's mother, the cornerstone of her emotional support, fell seriously ill, casting a shadow over their already fragile relationship. One evening, as Julia paced the hospital corridor, Justin arrived late, seemingly indifferent to the gravity of the situation. "Why couldn't you be here when Mom needed you the most?" Julia's eyes, red from tears, pleaded for understanding. Justin, seemingly unmoved, retorted, "I have my commitments, Julia. You need to be more understanding." The tension escalated as Julia's desperation clashed with Justin's detached demeanor. In a heated exchange, Julia exclaimed, "I can't believe you're prioritizing your commitments over my mother's well-being. This is not the partnership I signed up for." Justin, defensive, shot back, You're being unreasonable, Julia. I have responsibilities too. Your mother wouldn't want us to disrupt our lives for her. Shattered by his callousness, Julia realized the profound disconnect between their values. The breaking point had arrived. In a moment of clarity, she declared, I can't do this anymore, Justin. I need someone who understands the importance of family, of compassion. This isn't the life I envisioned. As the words hung in the air, Julia made a painful decision. She chose to separate from Justin and sought solace at her parents' home during this tumultuous period. Her mother's illness had become a catalyst, forcing Julia to confront the harsh reality of her marriage and question the very foundation of her love for Justin. Little did she know that this moment of upheaval would set the stage for a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. The hospital room echoed with the hum of medical machinery as Julia stood by her mother's bedside, her heart heavy with sorrow. The fragility of life hung in the air, and the solemn reality of impending loss cast a somber shadow on Julia's world. Her mother, frail and weakened, managed a faint smile. Julia, my love, you've always been my strength. Promise me you'll find your happiness, no matter what. Tears welled up in Julia's eyes as she held her mother's hand. I promise, Mom. I'll find my way and I'll make you proud. Amidst the emotional turmoil, Justin's absence was conspicuous. Julia, hoping for his support during this trying time, felt a profound sense of abandonment. As she exited the hospital room, the emptiness within her mirrored the void left by Justin's indifference. Later, at her parents' home, Julia wrestled with conflicting emotions. In a moment of vulnerability, she confided in her father, James. Dad, I thought marriage was supposed to be a source of support. Justin's not here for me when I need him the most. James, a pillar of strength, replied, Julia, a true partner stands by you in times of joy and sorrow. Maybe it's time to reassess your relationship with Justin. The days that followed were a whirlwind of funeral preparations, family gatherings, and shared memories of a beloved mother. Julia found solace in the embrace of her family, realizing that their unwavering support was the anchor she needed. In a quiet moment with her father, Julia admitted, Dad, I don't know where my life is headed, but I can't continue like this with Justin. His absence during Mom's illness was a wake-up call. James, understanding the weight of his daughter's decision, gently responded, Julia, you deserve a partner who values and respects you. Don't settle for less. The funeral became a poignant farewell, and as Julia bid her mother farewell, she silently vowed to honor her memory by forging a path to happiness. Little did she know that this pivotal moment would set the stage for reclaiming her own identity and rebuilding a life defined by strength and self-discovery. In the wake of her mother's passing, Julia sought refuge in the familiarity of her childhood home. As she immersed herself in the routines of mourning, an unexpected revelation awaited her, altering the course of her understanding of family and identity. One evening, sitting across from her father James in the dimly lit living room, Julia hesitated before broaching a sensitive topic. Dad, there's something I need to ask you. Why did Mom never mention your role at the company? James, his eyes carrying the weight of years of unspoken truths, sighed. Your mother and I wanted you to forge your own path without any preconceived notions. We didn't want you to be burdened by expectations tied to my work. Curiosity mingled with surprise, Julia pressed on, but what is it that you do, Dad? With a hint of a smile, James confessed, Julia, I'm not just a janitor. I'm the CEO of a successful cleaning company. Your mother and I wanted you to understand the value of hard work without the shadow of titles. Shocked, Julia took a moment to absorb the revelation. A CEO? I had no idea. Why keep it a secret? James explained. We wanted you to see people for who they are, not the labels society imposes. It was our way of ensuring you appreciate everyone's worth. The revelation left Julia in awe of her father's humility and wisdom. As she navigated her own grief and the complexities of her failed marriage, Julia began to see her father in a new light. A man who had silently influenced her values and beliefs. In a quiet moment, Julia remarked, Dad, I never realized the strength it took to carry this secret. Thank you for showing me the importance of humility and the true essence of success. James, his eyes reflecting a blend of pride and love, replied, You're my daughter, Julia? I've always believed in your strength, and I know you'll find your way. The revelation became a turning point, instilling in Julia a newfound appreciation for the resilience that defined her family. Little did she know that this understanding would play a crucial role in shaping her decisions and empowering her to reclaim control over her own narrative. Emboldened by the revelation of her father's true identity, Julia confronted Justin about the toxic dynamics in their marriage, a confrontation that would serve as the catalyst for a much-needed intervention. One evening in their now tension-filled home, Julia squared her shoulders, ready to address the elephant in the room. "Justin, we need to talk. This can't go on. I deserve respect and understanding in this marriage." Justin, dismissive as ever, responded with a nonchalant shrug. "Oh, what's there to talk about, Julia? I've made my expectations clear, and you need to fall in line." Frustrated, Julia retorted, "This isn't about expectations, it's about mutual respect. I won't let my dreams and identity be stifled any longer." The tension escalated until the door burst open, revealing James and Mary, Julia's parents, standing united. Mary, her gaze stern, addressed Justin, "We've heard enough. It's time for you to answer for your actions and the pain you've caused our daughter." Caught off guard, Justin stammered, "Who invited you here? This is none of your business." James, unyielding, asserted, "Our daughter's well-being is our business. You've shown a complete lack of empathy, Justin, and it stops now." As the intervention unfolded, Mary added, "We raised Julia to be strong and independent. She won't be shackled by your demands any longer. It's time for you to understand the consequences of your actions." Facing the united front of Julia's parents, Justin, for the first time, felt the weight of accountability. Julia, finding solace in the support she never knew she needed, said firmly, "I won't continue in a marriage that diminishes who I am. It's time for a change." The confrontation served as a wake-up call for Justin. The realization that his behavior had consequences began to settle in. Julia, fueled by the newfound strength from her family's intervention, saw a glimmer of hope for a life free from manipulation. In a moment of clarity, Justin mumbled an apology. I didn't realize it had come to this. Maybe I should have been more considerate." But Julia, resolute, replied, "It's too late for apologies, Justin. The damage is done, and I won't stay in a marriage that's built on control and disrespect." The intervention marked the beginning of the end for Julia and Justin. Little did they know that this moment would set the stage for Julia's journey towards healing, self-discovery, and a newfound sense of agency over her own life. The aftermath of Julia's decision to end her marriage to Justin unfolded into a complex tapestry of legal battles and emotional healing. As she navigated the challenging terrain of divorce, Julia discovered the strength within herself that had long been overshadowed. In the cold, sterile atmosphere of the lawyer's office, Julia sat across from Justin, the tension palpable. "I want a fair settlement, Justin. This divorce is not just about ending our marriage, but also about reclaiming my life," Julia asserted, her voice unwavering. Justin, sensing the gravity of the situation, begrudgingly agreed, "Fine, whatever. Just get it over with." As the legal proceedings intensified, Julia faced the challenge of proving the emotional distress caused by Justin's controlling behavior. In therapy sessions, she delved into the scars left by years of manipulation. The therapist, a beacon of support, encouraged Julia to embrace her emotions and heal from the inside out. One evening, as Julia poured her heart out to her therapist, she admitted, "I never thought I could be this strong, but the more I confront my pain, the more I realize I deserve better than what I endured in that marriage." The therapist, empathetic, responded, "Strength often emerges from adversity. You're on a journey of self-discovery, Julia, and healing is a vital part of that process." Amidst the legal battles and emotional upheaval, Julia's family became her anchor. James and Mary, understanding the toll the divorce took on their daughter, provided unwavering support. In a heartfelt conversation with her parents, Julia admitted, "I thought divorce would be the end, but it's turning into a new beginning. I want to rediscover who I am outside of that toxic relationship." Mary, her eyes filled with pride, reassured, "You're not defined by your past, Julia. This is your chance to build a future filled with love and authenticity." As the divorce proceedings reached a conclusion, Julia emerged with a newfound sense of liberation. The legal battles were not just about severing ties, but also about reclaiming control over her own narrative. In a moment of closure, Julia faced Justin one last time. "This is the end of our chapter, Justin. I'm walking away stronger, wiser, and ready to embrace the life I deserve." Justin, defeated and perhaps with a hint of regret, muttered, "Maybe you were right. Maybe I pushed too hard, but it's too late now." For Julia, the legal battles were not just a means to an end, they were a pivotal step towards emotional healing. Little did she know that the scars of the past would become the foundation upon which she would rebuild a life filled with self-love and authenticity. With the divorce settled, Julia found herself at a crossroads, contemplating a future without the shackles of a toxic marriage. The next chapter of her life unfolded as she reimagined her career, drawing strength from the support of her family and the lessons learned from the tumultuous past. One evening, sitting in the cozy living room of her childhood home, Julia expressed her aspirations to her father, James. "Dad, I've been thinking a lot about my career. I want to do something that brings me joy and fulfillment, something that aligns with who I am." James, always the pillar of support, encouraged her. "Julia, the world is full of possibilities. Pursue your passion and success will follow. Don't let the past dictate your future." Embracing her father's advice, Julia started exploring her interests. She delved into projects that fueled her creativity and ignited a sense of purpose. The journey led her to consider joining her father's cleaning company, a prospect that initially seemed inconceivable. In a candid conversation with James, Julia admitted, "I never thought I'd find inspiration in the family business. But the more I learn, the more I see the impact it has on people's lives. It's not just about cleaning, it's about creating spaces where people thrive." James, beaming with pride, responded, "Julia, success isn't confined to traditional paths. If you feel a connection to the business, I believe you can bring a fresh perspective and make it your own." As Julia immersed herself in the day-to-day operations of the cleaning company, she discovered a newfound sense of purpose. The satisfaction of contributing to a business that valued integrity and hard work fueled her ambition. The once dismissed janitorial profession now held a deeper meaning for her. In a pivotal moment, Julia confided in her father, "I never realized the impact of your work until now, Dad. It's not just about titles or societal expectations, it's about the value we bring to others." James, understanding the significance of the moment, nodded. "Your journey is unique, Julia. You have the power to redefine success on your terms." The reimagining of Julia's career became a metaphor for her own transformation. As she embraced the unexpected path, she found fulfillment in contributing to a business that honored hard work and authenticity. Little did she know that this redefined sense of success would become the cornerstone of her journey toward a life filled with purpose and self-discovery. With her career reimagined and a newfound sense of purpose, Julia stood at the threshold of new beginnings. The scars of her past were now stories etched into her resilience, and as she embraced the possibilities ahead, the final chapter of her journey unfolded. One sunny afternoon, in the serene ambience of her father's office, Julia shared her aspirations with James. "Dad, I've decided to take a more active role in the company. I want to learn the ropes and eventually contribute to its growth. It's time for me to make my mark." James, proud and supportive, replied, "Julia, I always believed in your potential. Your journey is yours to navigate, and I'll be here every step of the way." As Julia delved into her new responsibilities, she encountered challenges and triumphs. The camaraderie with her colleagues, once strangers, transformed into a supportive network. In a heartfelt conversation with a longtime employee, she realized the depth of her impact. "Julia, your fresh perspective is revitalizing. It's a joy to work alongside someone who values both the business and the people behind it." The company, once perceived as a mere cleaning service, began to evolve under Julia's influence. She implemented sustainable practices, fostering a sense of community within the workplace. In a meeting with the employees, Julia expressed her vision: "We're not just cleaners, we're contributors to the well-being of the spaces we touch. Let's take pride in what we do, knowing it makes a difference." Amidst her professional growth, Julia also embarked on a personal journey of healing. Therapy sessions became a sanctuary, and in a candid conversation with her therapist, she admitted, "I never thought I'd come this far. The scars are still there, but they no longer define me. I'm learning to live for myself." In a symbolic act of closure, Julia revisited the places that held memories of her past with Justin. The once painful associations now carried a sense of liberation. As she stood on a bridge overlooking the city, she whispered, "Here's to new beginnings and a future I create for myself." The final pages of Julia's story unfolded with a sense of triumph and renewal. Her journey, marked by love, loss, and resilience, led to a place of self-discovery. With each step forward, she left behind the shadows of her past, embracing the light of new beginnings. Little did she know that her story would become an inspiration for others seeking strength and redefinition in the face of adversity.